Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cherry the Geek TV. I'm Joe Vanourney. Today we are joined by directors Lauris and Raitis Abele. They are brothers, and they are the co-directors of a new film called Dog of God. It's an animated rotoscope horror film. It just had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival, and we are joined by them today. Lauris and Raitis, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank
Give
you for
people
having us.
Give people a quick summary description of the film. When you're describing it to friends, people that are interested in the film, how do you describe it to people?
We say that it's a werewolf movie, but then we say it's not a typical werewolf movie. Uh, and then we say that it will be weird, but it shall be fun as well. And we say, yeah, it's a adult animation, rotoscope animation. So it's like animation with real actors. Um, about 17th century, based on the one of the most well documented werewolf trials in Northern Europe.
So, yeah, you're from the country of Latvia. Latvia won the animation Best for Animated Film Oscar earlier this year for the movie Flow. Dog of God is the complete opposite of Flow, right? Couldn't be further from
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tone and that type of movie. Flow
exactly.
had a cute little kitty cat and his animal friends. Dog of God does have a scene with a cat in the movie, but it's not the same type of cat scene that you would have found in Flow. And it's a rotoscope animation film, so you're filming live action scenes and then animating over those scenes. Uh, Tell me, when you're doing a rotoscope movie, how many people do you have working on it, animating the film? How long does that take? And how does rotoscope animation compare in comparison to, like, say, a computer animated film or an original hand-drawn animation in terms of money, in terms of time spent doing it? Kind of give people the comparisons between between the styles of animation.
Maybe I say a few words about why we chose it, and then write tell you exactly the technical process. The beauty of it is that you actually get to work with real actors, and we there's no ADR. The sound is all the location sound. So when we were there, we were working with real people. It's shot on blue screen. And then when you reanimate them, they had to dress up with all the dress. So it's you can rotoscope the stuff that's theirs, that's already there. Otherwise, it would be like super hard for animators to do. And that was the beauty. What we used that we come from art house film world, and we love to work with actors. And animation gave us freedom regarding the backgrounds, but still we had the actors in it. That was important, and my brother can elaborate more on technical aspects. Like how the rotoscope differs from frame to frame classical animation is that there in a classical animation, artist puts in a drawings the soul of the object, like the tractor in the morning going to work. The tractor can be happy. The wheels can go up and down, and as it's animated, it becomes alive. When a tractor can be sad coming back home, it can just slowly and like lumpy. But with a rotoscope, you film the movements, so you don't. Animator is not working on a feeling, but the real actor behind it. So basically, it's a weird technique. As we come from the live action film world, it was just obvious choice for us to do it. But basically, it saves a lot of resources. We had seven students from Lauris as a teacher in the art school, and they really did a lot of job by uh, drawing over. Our lead artist, Haris Grunmans, he draw uh, he draws a main frame, and then the students could draw out of it. And how it differs from the 3D animation. Well, it's an there's uh, rules of animation still there's the same, but then there everything is done by mostly by
by mouse on a computer. So yeah, so mm, uh, but this yeah, for us, rotoscope was obvious choice because of it's a technique that we easily understood, and we like to draw, but we are not animators, so we couldn't do the classical way. And it took us 3 years to make this film without a script. That took 10 years for the Ivo Briens when he started to write the first drafts, but. Uh, just frame to frame, it would take, I think, 7 years or something like that.
So this is a horror movie. There's a little bit of a witchcraft element to the story. There's a werewolf element to the story, as you mentioned, but not in the traditional sense that most audiences would know werewolf movies, right? Most werewolf movies, a guy gets bit by a wolf, the full moon comes, there's a transformation. This is not that type of werewolf movie. Kind of go a little bit more into that, where your werewolf mythology is based on. And then there's a lot of grotesque imagery, dark imagery in this film. Talk about that choice to make this story with those types of images and the decisions behind that.
Okay, our werewolf mythology, I actually personally learned it here in New York. I was studying here 2010. I went to a bookstore, the Strand bookstore, and found a book, I think $1 or $2. It was an old book by Douglas Adams, the writer who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy. And the book is called The Beast Within, about history of werewolves, like a popular scientific book that he did a research on. And there I find a like big passage called Livonian werewolves. And I'm like, oh wow, it's like my hometown. What's he's writing there? And there I learned that um, it's in northeast Eastern Europe and part, werewolves have different mythologies and Central European, Swiss Alps, and French mythology. And that one that from France and Swiss Alps, that went to Hollywood, and so Hollywood made it so everybody knows about it. But this Livonian werewolf, where the werewolf is something connected with old pagan beliefs. It's a person who travels to hell and
Underworld.
to underworld on special occasions like midsummer or Christmas time, and fights bad spirits and comes back. And next year, maybe if a werewolf wins devil, then the harvest will be good. If he loses, the harvest will be bad. So this is kind of shamanic worldview, and it stayed in this northern eastern part. Also, it's weird that the same tales are in Italy. So there's a connection between. So probably it's something pre-Christian, pan-European, some belief system. That's so it was. I was amazed. Then I later did research and found, but like in our schools, nobody talks about our specific northern werewolves.
And as you ask about the grotesque imagery, this is a fantasy. It's based on this werewolf trial, but we took liberties
and added some stuff.
But just to imagine how the life was back then, and we did a documentary reenactment about called Last Pagans of Europe. We were about our history. Latvia and Lithuania were officially last pagans in Europe in 13th century, after the Northern Crusade, when Germans Christianized us. So we worked with historians, and as a kid, imagining, oh, I would love to live in the old times. It was quite crazy back then. Especially in our time zone, you have light from, let's say, 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and then it's dark, and then candles are expensive. You burn little pieces of wood. They're smoky, and they burn approximately for 5 minutes maximum. So the life back then was super rough, and we wanted to get this feeling. So there's a lot of fantasy, like there's going to be some big torches, but the other elements in our movie could be like really authentic back from the day. and we wanted to put this is like the bars back then probably were not the cozy pub you go these days, like here in New York or somewhere else. They were quite like places where you communicate, and perhaps they were quite dark. So we wanted to. So it's also fun for the viewer to notch it up a little bit, but I believe this grotesque atmosphere back then, it was like a regular day.
I want to ask you too, besides the animation in this film, one of the things that really stands out is the sound design and the music. It's very great. It's great sound design, great music. Talk about putting that element of the film together.
We met Italian American co-producer Giovanni Labadassa in Berlin, and they worked Lumiere Lab. Yeah, they worked on a sound design.
But regarding music, it was Lauris doing the music because of the specific feel how it should be. We kind of couldn't find a composer that would be like, oh, we're stuck so easily.
We wanted something of a synth pop, synth rock score from the back in the day when we watched animation as a kids, to get this feeling and also add the stuff that we're into right now. So it's like a mixture. Glad to hear that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it worked
Yeah, and
really
also some shamanic stuff was added to the music as well. It's like a shamanic music on a synth.
You just mentioned animation you watched as a kid. What were the influences, animation-wise, that influenced you, and what were some maybe non-animated things that influenced you and then influenced this film?
One thing particular, we as a kids we had after the Soviet Union broke up and we got independence, we had the video saloons when you had VCR and you watch some on two TVs, bunch of dudes come and you watch Hong Kong kung fu movies, all that, Chuck Norris, and then sometimes you get adult animation. I remember watch Rambo animation, John Rambo, and then there was Ralph Bakshi films like Fire and Ice. It was we were still allowed to go there. There was some nudity, but it was like forbidden fruit. And with Harry Grunmans, who is the main artist, the influence was also from a lot of movies from 70s, 80s, and 90s to get the specific looks. So it's not like clean 2D feeling, but it feels like there's lens, that there's some aberrations. So there was they worked a lot of on details, Aigars Garcans and Haris Grunmans. So that was inspiration behind the looks. But those Ralph Bakshi movies were good inspiration for the feel of the rotoscope animation.
And like we watched The Spine of the Night just recently, just to know, okay, what's the latest thing happening in Rotoscope?
We were told, hey guys, you should check out this. We're already developing this project.
And also influenced by the childhood, some Latvian animations. They mostly were sad from today's perspective. Like particularly, I remember one where a family of turtles needs to cross a road, a highway, and the cars are coming, and
it ends badly.
And it ends badly.
So the film just had its world premiere over the weekend at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York City. It was part of their Escape from Tribeca track, which focuses on more of the cult movies. Talk to me about that experience, showing your film to the audiences. And do you have any stories or memories as far as like maybe a comment that somebody in the audience made or a question, anything stand out that you'd like to share?
It went super smoothly. It's like we're here in New York, and that day, I would say it's like Such a Perfect Day song by Lou Reed. We had a drink before, we went to the premiere, we talked with the audience, we got good feedback. We went to for after party. It's no, we had 3 screenings in Tribeca, all super fun. We're enjoying it. The things that as we go to New York, we made those bling bling chains,
Awesome.
and we thought, will it work? And even on a street, we're like stopped by some guys and, hey, dude, I need a chain like that. So this, we got so many compliments regarding this. So it's that stands out particular because we were not sure. So, let's go. Let's make those change. There was a genre movie in Tribeca. It's not a genre festival. Let's have some fun, and that stuff works. So it's we're gonna produce them as
the
as
merchandise.
merchandise.
Yeah.
Awesome. So as Tribeca, as you move on from Tribeca, people want to see the film. Are there any upcoming festivals that you can talk about? If people want to follow the film, to find out about future screenings and distribution down the road, is there a website, social media? How can people learn more about the film?
We can talk. It just was announced that it will be in Fantasia festival
Canadian premiere.
in Canada, and
It's at the end of July.
early August.
Yeah.
And for the next festivals, we still cannot announce, but the film will try to reach audience, and some festivals are already lined up. For social media, we have Instagram account.
Dog of God, Instagram and Facebook also.
Yeah, and we have like our company Triton Studio website with Dog of God in it, but I think Instagram is that's where it's very easy to reach us and ask questions.
And where we'll put some news regarding
What's next?
what's next. Yeah.
Well, it's a remarkable film. It's called Dog of God. People seek this one out if you're into animation or something you want to watch something dark and grotesque in the best of ways. I trust me on this. You've never seen anything like it. Lauris and Raitis, thank you so much for chatting with us today on Cherry the Geek TV.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Joe.
Thank you.
Pleasure.